Hi, it's Kathy Vick, Deeply Awake, and I'm going to be signing off. And you better believe I'm going to go out with a bang. Why not, right? Didn't I start this? Haven't I shown that I know how to thrill? This morning I woke up and whatever. Was it the end of a dream or was it a vision? It's a word you can choose. I don't really care. What I saw and what I know is this. I was sitting my back against a wall. Could be been in a building anywhere. Downtown LA. Paris. Doesn't matter. And I was quiet. And I was smiling. And I was smoking. And on either side of me were people. And I know now that they ring me, they surround me. What I understood was that I have spent a lifetime instructing. I've spent a lifetime defending. I spent a lifetime taking on the strongest, most efficient, effective, and creative persona. All of the skills, well, not all of them, but many of them. And none of the fewer of the problems to deal with my reality. You don't know what I've been through, just like I don't know what you've been through. But can you imagine the kind of conflict, the kind of gross, self-destructive, and intense misunderstandings I've had to deal with as a psych nurse, as a hospice nurse? And that doesn't even begin to describe what I've gone through as a lover, as a girlfriend, as a mistress, as a daughter, as a mother. I scan the environment for threat and for anger and for bullshit. It's what I call noise. And for me, the only time it ever went away was when I was in a plane or on the water. That's when, thankfully, the noise would go away. I've met sensitives, and they who've had near-death experiences, and afterwards, they describe this sensation as the ugly. There's one who can use his innate to actually pinpoint scientifically the presence or absence of its benevolent, neutralizing source and cure. Creator's most unspeakably beautiful love. He sees it in millibels, and he certainly can see it if it's being pushed out by something else. And I sat on that wall, and I smoked my smoke, and I realized all that anger that just seems to come at me, and all the crap of somebody seeing something real good inside me and knowing that they can push me around and get at it. They don't even have to have a gift in their hand. Yeah, well, I have protectors now. I have those who are far better at instruction, at neutralization, and at benevolence itself. couple days ago during this consolidation thing, I looked in the camera and said, hey, all I want is the good stuff. All I want are festivals and dancing and moonlight. All I want is the kind of purity and freedom and joy that I find at Amy's workshops and with my friends, and when I know when my heart is true. See, I'm signing off. Yeah. And it's not like I'm abdicating my power, my sovereignty, my divine right to express as I see fit to big dudes who are gonna somehow protect me from the bad man. It's not like that at all. They're not frickin' parents. They're not gonna require anything of me or get pissed if I don't do it right. It's not like that anymore. And it never will be again. Ever. Ever again. Because they have common sense and they know how to love. In a way I don't, or didn't. But they healed me. And you know who they are? They are me. I came back and I sat across from myself and I showed myself love, just like I do in moments of celebration and high honor. When I listen to that David Essex song, I fill it with hope and strength and courage, and just don't even notice the nonsense. It's bullshit. Don't even look at it. There's no redeeming value in anger. None. There's no redeeming value in suffering. None. It's a misunderstanding. I love you, and I know you, and I know you survive. Dear one, you survive even this. I've been telling her that since she was 12, using that song to ride something and be transported into a reality that so desperately needed love. What's so funny about thinking that someone who knows a few things, and if it's from the past, if it's from the future, well then I think that if we don't know, it might mean that we're not quite smart enough to know yet. Why call it past or future when neither of them really fit? And neither does it being thought of as a higher self, because I refuse to consider myself a lower self. Never again. Never again. So you won't be hearing me say higher self, because the inference is that the person on the ground doing the hard work is somehow less than this disembodied voice that has some good ideas every now and then. No, it's not like that at all. For me, we stand as a team, but they know I like it easy. They know I like beauty. They know I like to be touched. They know I like to be romanced. And they know I understand beauty, redemption, light, brotherhood, connection. And so that's what I get to enjoy. And they get to deal with the horse shit. Not me, not anymore. It doesn't mean that I have defenses. I really don't. It's more like, okay, really, on this beautiful spring day, you want to remind me how hard it is for you. Oh, baby. I'm so sorry you feel that way. But I can tell just saying one word creates a flash of anger, so I'm not going to talk you out of your discomfort. I'm going to smile. And my face will crack open into such love. And if a word of wisdom will help, then I will get out of the way and let them speak. And if it's better, then I'll just offer you a hug. But so oftentimes, these offers are misconstrued by me as much as the next person. See, I'm signing off. Like the dude in Avatar goes, "Hey dude, something else has just happened." Well, yeah. What do you expect? I went through a light body activation. I have activated 12-strand DNA. I have a lighted Merkaba, and I know how to spin. I know how to do this. I'm home. I'm free. That's all that matters to me anymore. So I don't have protectors, really. That's the only word for them, but they're not parental. They're not invested in telling anyone they're doing it wrong. And I'm not either, because no one is. It's just the way in which people do it sometimes just points out how pissed off they are, how frustrated they are, and how needy they are. And yeah, that's my take on it. I didn't work in a zoo. I didn't work in a florist shop. Had I probably would have had the same problems. But no, I didn't. 42 years at the bedside, baby. I know a thing or two about the ugly. I know a lot about noise. I know a lot about other people's pain, misunderstandings, anger, and littleness. I know a lot about that, and I know it all stems from not getting the point and feeling like you are out there on your own. I realize that's why I behaved the way I did, and why in relationship and in conflict I often took the stance of the wise one, the instructor, the one to say, "Hey, let's take a minute out to just see if we can work this out." Very rarely, so rarely. But in the end, quite often, did I pull the trigger and just say, I can't do it no more. I don't have it in me. Not anymore. Gotta get there. I always got there. Just like, the noise has gotta stop. And the only thing that's gonna do it is this. Boom. Because there's no getting out of that tangle. Not really. You can quiet it, but it's always there. But not for me anymore. This morning it's gone. I feel as quiet as I did with the internet disconnected. I feel as quiet as I do when I'm in a plane or on the water. Because I know I don't have to ever deal with the noise again. Something far wiser and kinder than me has got it and doesn't mind and does a far better job at it than I ever could. And you'll notice the absence of me now trotting out the nonsense that is currently available for psychiatric diagnosis and treatment of abnormal states. Yeah. Well, I think it says everything that needs to be said. That one little word, abnormal. Either or, right? Sick or well, crazy or sane. Yeah, so go ahead and think that way, and I'll know that you'll be suffering, but you'll have great halls of learning devoted to the practice of your suffering. So, and institutions which will encourage its adoption as truth. Enjoy that. I'm going to be finally on my next life, and it's an artist's life. It's a lover's life. It's a happy person's life who knows that she doesn't have to say a word anymore. Not one. It's not my job to lead you to peace. That's your job. And far from wishing to crack open your reality so that you might be able to get there, hey, enjoy it. That's all I really want to say to everybody. Just from here on out, enjoy your reality. And if you don't, then, well, either a process starts for you or it doesn't. A lot of people really enjoy being unhappy. They enjoy screaming, "But I love you." I sure did. But I know how I'm going to be saying that word now. I'll be saying it from my throat, and it's going to come out these lips and into someone else's lips and into their throat in the middle of the night. It's going to be said in exultation and laughter. It's going to be said in honor and respect to the sun and the trees and my cats. It's going to be spoken like a pledge as I gaze in wonder at my son, at my dad, at my sister, at my estranged friend Diane, at all of my estranged friends. And I can assure you, I have many. I don't think even that matters anymore. I'm still the same person that I was, but I'm not behaving the same way, and I'm going to look different too. I've been thinking for a couple of weeks it's time for a change, and I have a friend who really enjoys seeing me unfurl and experiment and express. So we're going to get together, our little family, our little tribe, and Mama's going to get a new look. So I don't want to be in front of this camera anymore. I think I've done quite enough, thank you. Against such a bitter opposition that I just don't even want to talk about it. Such shaming, bitter behavior. I wrote, and I wrote, and I wrote, and I wrote. And that behavior only got more intense all around me as I did this project, as I knew I needed to. Moved by something that was tugging at me from home. Just because they don't know where home is and what it is and that it's good, well, of course they'd bitch and moan. Of course they'd try and shut me down by shaming me and making me quake in terror for my very life, that somehow my life was going to fall down if I opened my mouth. Well, I've opened it again and again and again, and I'm so glad I did, because it stands as a record, and I will tell you, it will be a historical document, and you don't have to believe it. I know things you don't, but because of the way you guys think, the way I thought, well then, who is she? She's no authority. She's just talking from her living room. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Isn't that cute, guys? This will all be transcribed. The brilliance will shine from the page, as it always has. And I'll sit and wondering how I pulled it off. And years later, people will... Well, we'll see. It doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. And yet, it kind of does. I have functioned under so much obscurity. And I'm so sick of it. I think maybe by understanding my own self, what I am, who I am, and what I carry, well, I'm not going to put up a lot of defenses, and I'm certainly not going to put up very many arguments. If people want to see value in this, they will. If they don't, then I know where not to hang out. Really. I can be friends with anybody. I just can't really connect all the way with them. Oh well. Welcome to Earth. But there are enough of us now, connecting, talking, sharing the truth, smiling, breathing easy, laughing, kissing, celebrating. I don't need the anger anymore. I don't need the arguments anymore. And I don't need the fear anymore. You keep your fear. Enjoy that. Stay silent. A lot of people do when they're in fear. Some, though, just like to scream and yell, jump up and down. It's all fear. Enjoy that. I'll be smoking. Sit on the side of a building, presenting a little like an autistic, and it's up to you to decide whether I'm smoking clove cigarettes or regular ones. And I kind of rock every now and then, because I'm listening to music in my head, and I don't need headphones. And I'll get up and dust myself off and say a few words if I'm asked. If I'm acknowledged. And thank God when I am. But now it's time to listen. Really, really listen. To not argue with the nonsense anymore. It used to be, holy crap, if they don't get this, I don't get to go. Oh God, I gotta explain this. Oh God, I gotta show them how sweet things can be. I gotta. Yeah, no more. Because I was doing that for myself, right? I mean, when you look at it, everything that I talked about, the horseshit and all that, blah, 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 and all the anger, blah, 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 yeah, that was me too. Duh. I'm not mad at anybody, and I don't think anybody's gotten it wrong. If anybody got it wrong, it was me. So there's no shame here. But there is great resolution and great resolve. I'm done. I'm done taking it personally. It's not personal. It's just not personal. So, if you know I'm somebody of value, this me, the one who goes to festivals and concerts and steak dinners, well then, present heart first and maybe we'll have a talk. Lead with your heart and I'll dance with you forever. But no more of the other stuff. Not interested. Guess what I get to do? Look up at the stars while somebody else gets out the epi and does the dueling. I'm not interested, because the people who are going they love to fight. Oh God, they love it. It's like oxygen. Let's have an argument. Let's throw down. Let's prove who's right and who's wrong. Oh fuck. You wanna? Somebody else can go in and do that. I'm not interested anymore. Oh, you need to know who's right and who's wrong, who's better and who's less, who's smarter and who's dumber, who's worthy and who's not, of your time, your attention, your love. Well then, guess who gets to talk? It's not me. Not me anymore. No. Consider me a quiet soul. One who finally knows how to sit down and observe and not react. I like it. So yeah, I'm signing off. And I'm glad. You'll see me in writing and I will transcribe these. And I'm very proud of my work. And if you're not enjoying it, well then it wasn't for you. So thanks for making sure I know it didn't resonate. That's really helpful. Or that you find it entertaining or comforting or whatever. You know what? Doesn't matter. It's my work. And it's quantum, as am I. And guess what things that are quantum do? They evoke things from the observer's consciousness, because it's the consciousness of the observer that creates the experience in a quantum reality. In one reality, I am a complete and utter failure because of the bank account thing. Yeah. Because of the house cleaning thing. Oh. Failure. Oh, because I'm not married. Because I don't own a home. Because you want me to go on? I have a whole long list of things that prove that I am, unworthy of consideration, really. In that reality, well, it's funny how that's true. And then in another reality, I've done things no other human being on earth has done. And I've done it in the middle of an ascension wave. I've known exactly what to do to spread the word, to wake up my pod, and to start something that will be able to be measured later. Mark my words. And this will stand as proof, more evidence, more documentation that I somehow knew to do, just as I knew how to do the essays, just as I knew how to do that book the gift of words, just as I knew to do the unthinkable, to sit down and talk with a group of disembodied entities that might have just been a nutty woman. So it really depends on your consciousness, what I am to you. But I know what I am to me. And that's what matters to me anymore. It doesn't matter to me what you think. It matters to me what I know and am and feel. It ain't cutthroat. You just have to spend 5 minutes with me to know that my heart bleeds for people. I'm not mean. There's not a mean bone in my body. And I live my life with rule number 1. With harm to none. With harm to none. It's just that finally, I'm applying it to the one who had to write point without tools. The one who had to somehow survive in a world that was more than willing to tell her she was not capable. More than willing. Sometimes daily if it was needed. And when that particular education ran out, well, then I was more than happy to take up that drum beat and bang my own drum in my own head saying, I can't do this. I'm not equipped. I don't know what I'm doing. They're going to find out. All that is noise and it's all gone. They had me this morning, and this all happened in like, pew. They said, close your eyes. Imagine. You wake up, everything is just as you want it. It's beautiful, and it's beautiful to you. What is it? What is beautiful to you? What does it look like? What's pleasing? What gives you visual and sensual pleasure here, sweetheart? What feels good to you? Imagine cleaning. Well, that's just like an Etch-a-Sketch. You just got to do it once, and then it's going to be so easy. And when you wake up in the morning, it's going to be pretty. And your heart, feel it, see how it feels when you wake up and everything around you is yours and you're so happy it's there, and you live day by day by day by looking at beauty and feeling nurtured and loved. That's what's happening now, they said. To close, I want to remind you of what happened to me. I think it was in 2012. It was early, and there's an essay that talks about it. And it relates to a meditation I had of a sovereign overlooking a kingdom. I was at a point where I just didn't know what goes on next. What do I do? I'm such a failure, and I'm so lost, and I know I'm supposed to be doing this, but I'm not getting paid, and I'm getting such heat, and it's just so hard. And I just want it to be over. I want it to be over. I want it to be over. But I don't know how. What comes next? What comes next? What comes next? I'm thinking like that as I'm driving to see this local channel in a little church. And I sat down, and like I said on video, I did very purposefully allow the energy to build, and I was the third to present, and I was talking to the energies and telling them you gotta bring out the big guns. I got a problem here. And they came, and it was the teachers. They used the same language. I knew it was them. And he had a cane, because he was healing from a surgery. A hip surgery that, guess what? I don't have hip pain. I figured out the wall I ran into. The wall's not there anymore, so I don't need the hip problem anymore. So, problem solved. Surgery avoided. Call it a healing if you want. It's just figuring a couple things out. Using my body as my best friend, my mentor, and my savior. I know it's a loaded word, but whatever. I sat in front of him and said, I just don't know what to do. I know this life is ending, and I know there's a new one beginning, but I don't know what comes next. And I'm just so eager to be done with this. And they said, oh, dear one, don't you understand? You've led a master's life. Why would you want to throw that away? And I really heard that. And I knew it to be true. He said, look at your glasses. And they were the white cat eye ones. He said, you carry around what comes next on you. It's part of your life. You just ease into the next one. And I thought, oh no. I can't bear. I can't bear it. I can't bring the pain with me. I don't want to. It hurts too much. It hurts too much. Let it be over, please. Let it just be done. I want to be done. They said the new one is within the old one. Let the old one pass. Let the new one come. All is well. All is well. And he took the cane and went ding, ding, ding. And I felt the crown settle on my head, and I didn't understand any of it. But I remembered the meditation. They'd led me there. Green hills as far as I could see, spotted with gold, with treasure, and it was all mine. There was nothing but peace. There was nothing but celebration. There was nothing but joy. And I was so wise, and I was so kind, and I was so at peace, and I was so happy. And of course, at the time, I only saw myself looking out. But now I can see that around me and beside me, in front of me, behind me, below me, above me, within me, to my right, and to my left, in my eyes, in my mouth, in my throat, in my mind, in my heart, in my yoni, in my body. There is this peace and love and true, mathematical, geometric, blazing peace, love. It's all there, but it's all in numbers, and it's all in lines, and it's all in light. And I have friends all around me, and they're physical, and they're not afraid of me, and they're not afraid of themselves, and they love me, and they say so. No more arguing, parsing out, no more. No more hiding, either through sheer volume of anger or the deathly silence I'm hearing from so many of my loved ones. So, tango, line, flowers. There's no harm here. There's no impatience either. And that find nothing but relief when these old relationships come back and say hi. Can we start again? I don't doubt that they will. I'm thinking of one person. I'm hoping we can eat in Golden again. At that one table. It's a fantasy, but it's a nice one. And if that doesn't happen, well, you know what? They showed up right on time, and it was delicious. And I love everyone who's loved me, and who continues to love me. But I have changed. I have changed. And I am certain. It's not even being certain. It just is the way it is. I would really question, hey, is this gonna change back? Oh my God, it'll change back. And it's like and then the deep misunderstandings and the angers and the storylines would just take over. All right, let's see. Let's try this again. Oh, hey, I'm feeling better. Oh, it was like that for me. But then, pretty soon, there's more and more growth. And it was more like, 2. Oh, hey. And it'd be like, so it's gradual. I feel nothing but love for everyone who fought against me, and who denied me, and who rejected me, and who stands estranged. And I feel nothing but love for those who I'm going to be eating with today. Yummy, yummy, yummy. Huh, I can't wait. Doesn't matter. Come forward or don't. It's really up to you. You're the quantum observer, not me. Anymore. That's how I'll position myself in reality. So relieved when love presents, when friends present with this. And no longer resigned or angry or defensive when people present with their problems. I have much more loving and much wiser counsel than I expected. And they have given me every assurance. It's they, and not me, who be tending to the tender hearts of those who are in misunderstanding, and are in pain, and are behaving in ways that are harmful to themselves and others. And this harm, it's not even believed, but it is felt as noise, as the ugly, and as the opposite of Millibels, as the opposite of the golden wheat fields and the angel who looks like a farmer named Gabe, who welcomes someone in a near-death experience and changes her life in a flash by reminding her of the truth that she is so magnificently loved, so inexpressibly adored, cherished, treasured, protected, loved. The question is so infrequently asked, why? Why do we think and talk about this benevolence? Why would we think that we are eligible for it? or that we have to earn it. We're made of it. We've just forgotten. We've forgotten the truth that we love each other, and that all of these things are conflicts to learn the truth. What we love each other, and we're afraid of it because it's about learning to love ourselves, seeing that we really are worthy of this, and that it was just a bad dream. And the dream's broken for me now, and I'm really relieved. I do have no ill will. I have nothing but love. And believe me, I have very conflicted people around me. Do you think I wouldn't see how conflicted I was? And it's okay. But certainly I won't be looking for it. Not professionally. And not personally. That's what they told me. Now I get to decide. And I get to come out and play when I want to. Not when people are yelling, and not when they're making me feel like crap about myself or about life. It's not anything to think bad thoughts about being here. If you only knew how much I know that in my atoms. And how possible that was to even consider in 2011. It doesn't matter about the hip, it doesn't matter about the weight, that's the healing. That's what matters. I actually want to be here, and I have gotten beat up like you wouldn't believe. Like you wouldn't want to know. You know what? I'll bet you the eyes looking at this, especially early, they've been probably beat up worse. And if you haven't, well then, how about if you give the ones who've been beaten up some love and some joy? How about that? And I'm willing to do that for the ones who are just as shell-shocked as me. And I'm willing to offer solace and a place to quiet down and enjoy, but not at any kind of price. You have gifts in your hands, and then we'll talk. Because I certainly have gifts in mine, and I know how to give, and so does this crew. So yeah, I'll know the ones to play with, because they're the ones who are going to be smiling. They're going to be generous. They're not going to be scared. They're going to be laughing. They're going to be integrated. That's my new family. Because that's how it is when you're home. Join me, okay? But do so with a glad heart, please.